It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. It is great to have you in studio with us today. GR Manera, Captain with the DPS in studio. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're going to talk winter driving.
Yes.
We'll do that first. And then we're going to talk, I noticed this story for I think the last, 4 or 5 months between DPS and ADOT. I've been sending out that we're expecting to hit 900 fatalities this year at the rate we're going.
Yes.
With 900 fatalities. We're going to talk about some of the fatalities we've had just in the last week now. And then we've got a new unit of DPS troopers that are taking over a trouble spot along I-17.
That's correct.
So we'll talk about that too. But let's get into the winter driving because we just had our first storm.
Yes, we did.
Okay. And it was one of those storms where you don't get, it's not like a foot in an hour.
No.
It's 4 to 5 inches. It stretches out over a few days. So you got cars constantly driving over it. And it's really difficult, I think, for plows to get that off the road because it is constantly being packed down.
Right. And it was a real wet snow, too, so it brought a lot of water, which caused a lot of ice accidents because it froze at night. And those real heavy, wet snows, they caused problems, several days after the actual event.
Right.
So.
And then it was Saturday we started getting some snow. Sunday it was bad. And then by Monday we had that second storm roll in the afternoon, and I think that's when it caused most of the problems. What was it? Law enforcement in northern Arizona said 300-plus calls of weather-related crashes from Saturday through Monday night.
Right, and that's not including just slide-offs and people stuck, and our calls for service just go through the roof when a storm like that.
Did you guys prepare for stuff like that? When did the bad weather's coming?
Yes.
How do you kind of gear up for something like that? Because you got to know.
We have such a great partnership with ADOT with their plows and their emergency response. They're getting real good about, predicting these storms, giving us updates prior to the storms. So we're able to add manpower. Like that weekend, we had extra troopers on. We had our civilian reserves who do the motorist assist stuff. We had them standing by.
Oh, okay.
And then we had other officers on call. So when it does, when we do have these large incidents, we have a lot of response that we can go and take care of these things. Where it gets into these storms that last a week or so, then it gets tough on manpower.
Yeah, I imagine so. Huh?
But we're able to rotate, like area from Cordes Junction. They don't get a lot of snow down there typically, so we can rotate them up on north on I-17 and work snow wrecks and work closures and things like that. So we kind of have those contingencies in place so we can get officers where we need them.
Wow. And then if you think about it, we've got this storm that's rolling through and everyone's like, yeah, the snow, but then it's also on Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
And at first it didn't look like it was going to be too much, and then they kind of increased just how much was going to fall. So you guys got to be going, oh, brother, here we go. This is not only is it snow on a weekend, but we've got holiday travel as well.
Right, because the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that's typically the busiest travel day, air travel, vehicle travel of the year. But what people don't consider is Friday's almost as bad because of the Black Friday sales and, people going from Flagstaff to Phoenix to try to go do the shopping for Christmas and all that. We have a tremendous amount of traffic out there. And then Saturday and Sunday, everybody's making their way home from the holiday weekend. So that weekend is just incredible, the amount of traffic and the people that are out on those roadways.
I'd say northbound and southbound are both probably pretty crazy. Where most weekends, Friday northbound's nuts, and then Sunday southbound's crazy.
Right.
So
yeah, and that's typically the traffic patterns on I-17 is Friday afternoons, everybody's trying to escape Phoenix in the summer, or go to the snow in the winter, and Sunday afternoons, everybody's trying to make it home and get home safely. So we have a lot of traffic out there.
I try to stay off the roads. those two periods of time I try. You have to be on the road. You have to be, but I don't have to be out there, so that's great. So let's talk about some driving tips in snow.
Right.
Now I live up where it's snowing. And so I know I have to drive 10 miles to get to work, and I know it took me 35 to 40 minutes both days on both Friday and on Monday to get to work, just because it was that kind of snow where the plows can't get it off the road because vehicles are just smashing it right down. And there's this thin layer, how are they supposed to take that off? So the roads were really slick. What are some of the things we should be doing regardless, when it's snowing or when it's raining really hard too, what should we be doing on the roads?
Well, first thing is people need to slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah. yes, the speed limit says that it's 75 miles an hour. That's in perfect road conditions. That's the, that's the speed limit when the roads are dry. It's a nice sunny day. Speed reasonable and prudent is keeping your vehicle under control. That may be 25 miles an hour on the interstate. You need to keep your vehicle in control. You need to not hit your brakes really hard, because that's going to break your vehicle free and get you to spin and go out of control. And prepare, look ahead. What we notice with a lot of drivers in these snow accidents is, they're focusing on their driving or whatever, but they're not looking a quarter, half mile ahead, and there's a collision or there's a vehicle slide off or there's something going on. They don't notice it until it's too late, and now you're looking at hard braking, inattention, trying to steer out of the way, and vehicles don't steer real well in that snow. So
not at all.
You just really got to just pay attention. Be a defensive driver during these weather conditions.
I think it's like that all the time now.
Right.
I feel like I'm always driving defensively.
Absolutely.
I'm always checking my mirrors to see who's coming up on me from behind, checking out who's in front of me and what's going on. For some reason, there seems to be this new thing on the interstates. When you get to go next to a semi, you slow down when you're passing a semi.
Right.
I tend to want to get past them as quick as possible.
Absolutely.
Because that's like a wall sitting next to me on wheels doing, 60, 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I do not want to be next to that thing for very long, because you know how the wind is in Arizona.
Absolutely.
It makes those guys are trying to keep that 18-wheeler on the road. It's going to be difficult sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you're talking, 20, 30,000 pounds in the back of those trailers, and I'm with you. I want to just get past them and get on my way.
Yeah, don't slow down next to the semis. Let's get going. All right, so if let's say, because we had obviously a lot of it happen, and it seems like now that we've got the first storm out of the way, and a lot of these crashes have happened, the slide-offs, people get it. It's like, oh yeah, the roads are icy, I need to slow down. So it tends to drop off a little bit after the first storm. But if I do wind up going off the road, what should I be doing?
Immediately, get well off the road as far as you can. Call 911. Let somebody know where you're at. ADOT has changed some of their policies now. If it's just a slide-off, ADOT will actually, if they're going by one of their plows and they see a car stuck, they will help get them out of the.
Oh, the plows will.
They will, because they have to get those plows out there and around vehicles, and they're helping us out a lot. The quicker we know about it, the quicker we can get a response and we can get that open.
Okay.
People should not get out of their vehicles and walk towards the highway. That causes all kinds of problems. People can't stop and things like that. If you're safe and you're not hurt, stay near your vehicle, stay warm, call somebody, make sure you got cell phone battery, things you can do prior, make sure you have good tread on your tires, or you have snow tires or chains, whatever's required. Check the weather sites, 511 and the ADOT website. They're going to tell you what roads are closed and what road conditions are. And if people educate themselves, we're all going to be much better.
Yeah. So that's pretty simple stuff.
Yeah.
I would say it's really simple stuff right there. And then I did not know that ADOT will come and help pull you out too. So in the event of a big storm, I guess people should be prepared to possibly be there for a little bit, especially if it's a really bad storm and there's a lot of this going on. It could take a while for somebody to come and help them out. Right.
Just the other night, they closed State Route 64 up to the Grand Canyon because of the heavy snows. They closed it just overnight because they didn't want people out there. And those are very likely that there's going to be road closures. So the other thing people can do is make sure they read the overhead, the digital message signs.
Nice. Yeah.
Because ADOT's really good about updating those every 5 to 10 minutes with current conditions and current accident conditions. If people are aware of those, look at signs on the road. They have portable signs that they'll get out on the road and let people know that roads are closed or accidents ahead and things like that. Pay attention for detours. We're trying to keep the motoring public motoring.
That's the goal, huh?
But if we do have a major incident, we do have those mile-long backups, or we've had 26-mile backups.
Sure.
And we try to get that traffic going and flowing and back in the roadway. But people need to be aware of what's going on and pay attention to those signs.
Take patience. All right. DPS Captain GR Manera in studio today. This is Countywide. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then we will be right back.
this was me. And Mom and Dad. And my big brother Alex. And Jack. And this was the day that I learned that sandals get their name from sand. That jellyfish aren't made of jelly. That stars don't just come from the sky. That the ocean is bigger than all of us. This is the day we all got to forget that I was sick. And it changed everything. This was my wish.
I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher or a reality TV star.
I dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you.
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you.
Welcome back to Countywide. Department of Public Safety Captain GR Manera in studio today. You take care of the Prescott office, kind of half of northern Arizona.
Yeah, I have mostly Yavapai County.
Mostly Yavapai County, yeah. It's a big territory, I mean, you guys are on I-40, I-17, all over the place.
All over.
All over the place. ADOT and DPS have both been warning us now for the last, I would say 2 or 3 months now, that we are expecting to hit 900 fatalities this year.
Yes.
On Arizona roadways statewide.
Yes.
That is a huge number. Is that a huge number for us?
It is a huge number.
It seems like it is.
It is. It's. We haven't had those numbers in the last 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Our numbers, just as an agency, we're up about 22% on fatalities as an agency.
Crazy.
What we've noticed as a trend is 50% of all fatalities occur in northern Arizona, including Yavapai, Coconino, Mojave, Apache, Gila County, where we're trying to figure it out, but I think what we're seeing is the roads are more open, higher speeds. We have less troopers out here per square mile because it's just, tremendous amount of geography that we have to cover. And then, we have the weather. We have a lot of the snow that they don't have down south.
Yeah. So just so the folks watching and listening right now, for me, in the news department, been doing this now for over 20 years here at Yavapai Broadcasting, we would have a fatal crash maybe every other week, 3 weeks, maybe one a month.
Right.
And it was always like, oh, wow, somebody died. This week alone, since last Wednesday, we have had 4 fatal crashes. We had the vehicle on Cornville Road that collided with 2 vehicles, and that person's passenger died. We had a man on a motorcycle out of Skull Valley that was passing 3 vehicles on Iron Springs Road. The front vehicle was turning left on Adosi Pit Road, and he collided with that vehicle while passing. There was a hunter killed when his ATV rolled over on a forest road near the Grand Canyon while hunting. No seatbelt, vehicle landed on top of him as it rolled. And then we had a rollover crash just yesterday.
Yes.
And you've told me that claimed a Cornville man's life. That rollover crash was on Highway 260 east of Camp Verde.
Right.
1 person killed there. So, I mean, that's 4 fatalities right there that I've talked about in less than a week.
That's right.
It's unbelievable. And there's more.
Yeah, we had another 3-time fatality over in the Kingman area yesterday. Yeah, we're seeing, and the trends are we're seeing that it's distracted driving, it's impaired driving, lack of seat belts, and high rates of speed. Those are the 4 main contributing factors that we're seeing with the majority of the fatals statewide.
And these crashes I just talked about represent maybe all of them. Right. One, the Cornville Road one, that person's been charged with manslaughter and extreme DUI. The other one was passing and going at high rate of speed, and somebody turned left. And then we've got a hunter not wearing a seatbelt So there you go. You roll and you're ejected, and now the vehicle's on top of you. And then the rollover crash on Highway 260, you said that vehicle was pulling a camper that was probably too big for the vehicle.
Right.
And the vehicle was older, so it didn't have seat belts.
Correct.
And that resulted in that person being ejected and dying on that crash too. So, yeah, these rollover crashes without a seat belt, it's a pretty good chance you could get shot out one of those windows.
Absolutely. There's so much violence involved when that vehicle starts overturning because you have those speeds, and it's amazing what can happen during those things. And if you're not seat belted, if you're not basically a part of that car, you know, you're a loose item in that car, and it's going to throw you out.
Do we feel too safe in our vehicles these days?
I think to a degree we do.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody thinks the airbag's going to save you. That's for usually front end and rear end collisions. That's where those save you. But when you're talking about rolling, I've seen rollover accidents that airbags don't even deploy because they're not hitting the front, what's the sensors that hit the front and the rear of the vehicle. So the only thing keeping you in that vehicle is the seatbelt.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yes.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, if the front or the back didn't get hit, then why would the airbags go off? And I know some have the side airbags up by your head.
Right.
But that's T-bone crash type thing.
That's T-bone crash stuff, yes. Those sensors are designed for impact on the side. And if you're up in the air, I mean, I've seen vehicles that once they start to roll, they get airborne. They're not hitting anything on the side, so those bags aren't going to deploy.
Well, I remember the day when it used to be, I felt safer when I was in my 69 Ford F100.
Yeah.
Solid steel.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, run into me. You're not going to do anything to me.
Well, that's what I tell my wife. I have a big Ford truck. I said the one with the most lug nuts wins. But, that's not true anymore either.
Right.
Because, when you come up against a 26,000 pound semi out there, you're the little one.
I think another thing about the newer cars, too, because I'll drive my wife's car when we go back and forth to California when I'm on vacation. I noticed that it's real easy to get going pretty fast in those cars, and I don't notice that. I don't notice that I'm going faster. It's just this really smooth ride. You can't hear anything outside. It's just this quiet compartment. She's, asleep over here, and you look down, you're like, ooh, I'm doing 95.
Right.
How'd that happen?
Yeah, and the newer cars, they're so much nicer than, like you said, the 69 Ford pickup that beats you all the way, to and from the 5 miles that you drive. But it's really important for people to monitor their speed, set the cruise control. It's going to save fuel. It's going to keep you from speeding. It's going to keep you in a nice, safe travel, travel speed. And, you're not going to be passing people. It's just a good thing to do, set your cruise control and stay alert. That's the most important thing.
You guys must respond to a fatal crash, I would think, right now. It seems like almost every other day I'm seeing one.
Yeah, it's been that way. As DPS, it's almost one a day, it seems like. I mean, we get a duty log report, all the captains do statewide, and, they're just everywhere, all over the state every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's really something else. And then that's going to take a toll on you and your troopers, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know that I could pull up on a triple fatal crash and keep it together.
Yeah, it gets tough. I mean, especially when you're talking children and things like that. It takes a toll on officers after a while.
Is it safe to say a lot of these are avoidable?
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just by the fact wearing a seatbelt, I think 25%, if they were wearing their seatbelt, would survive or believed to survive the collision. Seatbelt doesn't protect you all the time because sometimes the vehicles crush and things like that happen, but it keeps you from being ejected. And if you stay with that vehicle, your chances of survival are much better.
Yeah, once you start flying through the air, who knows what you're going to run into, especially in Arizona terrain. All right, we're going to take another break. Department of Public Safety Captain GR Manera in studio today. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Getting dumped by text is harsh. Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a couple minutes left of the program, and GR, you've got, everybody knows that from Sunset Point to Black Canyon City, Anthem, North Phoenix, whatever you want to call it, that is just a trouble zone, especially on Sundays. It's almost every Sunday I see a Twitter from ADOT that says, or tweet from ADOT, I mean, that says, hey, traffic backed up southbound I-17. It always seems to be right in that area. So we've got something to hopefully help with that.
Yeah, our problem area has always been from about Carefree Highway all the way up to the top of Sunset Point. Just that section of I-17. Once one collision occurs, it just backs traffic up tremendously. Our area used to go right to the county line in Black Canyon City and Rock Springs, and then Metro Phoenix area took from Metro all the way up to the county line. Those troopers, they have so many calls for service down in the Metro Phoenix area that to work that North I-17 from, you know, Bell Road to Black Canyon City.
Sure.
As soon as they get up there, they get called back down because Metro Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So what Highway Patrol Division has decided to do is create a new squad that will be the Black Canyon City Squad, and they will have from Carefree Highway to the middle of Sunset Point Hill at Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
There will be 6 new troopers and a sergeant that will work out of the Black Canyon City area. They will be assigned to my district, and hopefully we'll get some better coverage down there, better response times, and to slow people down both north and southbound so we don't have a lot of the collisions.
Just seeing you guys
absolutely
slows people down.
Yeah, just having the visibility.
Most
and
of the time.
We've been able to prove it on a Friday afternoon. If we have visibility out there, we have troopers that were available to get out there, it slows people down. We have less wrecks going up the hill.
Makes sense.
And we're trying to do that north or southbound on Sundays. Just keep the traffic flowing, because it's hard for our officers to get out there and make a stop because traffic's so busy. But at least they're visible and they can respond and help people as they need it.
Awesome, awesome. 30 seconds left. Guys, got your holiday patrols going on.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We're going to be working some Tri-City DUI details in the Prescott area. We're going to be working with the Verde Valley agencies, Camp Verde, Cottonwood, on some of their DUI details over New Year's and Christmas holidays.
All the big weekends coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yep. Guaranteed to be crazy for sure.
Yes, they are.
Well, all right. Thank you for coming in.
You bet.
I appreciate your time. As always, GR Manera, Captain for Department of Public Safety. This is Countywide. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.